Hey everybody, Tony D, Little Jones enjoying a bone in the background. I don't know if she's still there. She's still there. Yep, she is. And this is a screenwriter's rant about He-Man, well, Masters of the Universe Revelation from Netflix. So this is the return of He-Man with better animation. Unpopular opinion, He-Man always kind of sucked. I mean, did you watch He-Man? I remember watching He-Man and going, God, this cartoon's boring. The animation's better. It looks cool, but the story was never there, ever. It was never there. It was like, here's some good guys, here's some bad guys. It was literally like watching a cartoon about action figures that you could do yourself just as good in 10 seconds, right? You could just go, I'm Skeletor. I'm He-Man. Boom, boom, boom. That's what this is. I mean, Dragon Ball Z has more of a sensible plot than He-Man, in my view. I'm sure they came up with stuff to, justify all this stuff. She-Ra, and isn't that She-Ra? That's like the female He-Man and all the various characters. I don't know this guy, the Claw. I guess they added some characters. And they're weird villains. The whole thing was like Prince Adam was like a superhero. He's the only like weak guy in Eternia. But then he would run away like Clark Kent, and then turn into He-Man, then come back and save the day. And people go, oh, yeah, well, if Prince Adam was here, he should have seen you, He-Man. That guy's a total whip. Why do we even have him around? Why don't you just hang out with us, He-Man? Like, the cartoon never made any sense that way. And then the only fun part was Skeletor. Skeletor was just undeniably evil and incompetent, right? He was never going to win, and the cartoon almost said that. And they had a weird mix of technology and magic. Everybody's in it. I mean, Orko's in it. Skeletor has some magic going on. I mean, it looks cooler. I'll give it that. It looks cooler. Part 1. July 23rd. Part 1. It's going to be many parts. It's very complicated. Orko was like their comic relief. That's his name, right? Orko? I think that was his name. And it just, the whole cartoon, I never liked any of it. It was always just nonsense. The memes were hilarious, the recent memes. And then this is just like, okay, you're trying to make something super serious. They should have went the other way with it. Would have been much stronger going the other way. They should have made this. It should have been He-Man 40 years later. Like a total comedy. They're all fat. They all got kids. Eternia. It's not what it used to be. That would have been amazing, right? This is, what are you going to do with it? Game of Thrones? You can't go that hard with it. I guess there was rumors that they were going to try to make it woke. That would have been a disaster. You could have made it fun. It just looks very serious. And the song they've got playing in the background is I Need a Hero. I guess. Netflix He-Man trailer makes She-Ra fans salty on Twitter. I mean, it looks normal, but normal was barely passable cartoon, in my view, right? Filmation was just like, they would take the same clip over and over of He-Man running or riding his little green and orange, his green and orange cat. I forget the name of the cat. And show it over and over again behind different backgrounds. Like, it was Filmation, I think the best Filmation cartoon was hands down their Star Trek cartoon. That was really good, compared to all their other cartoons. What is this going to be? Just them fighting over Eternia? So what? Who cares? You're never going to see anybody die. So, I mean, look at these guys. Oh, wow, these are like Skeletor minions. I mean, look, it has something to offer. It'll look cool. I'm sure it'll be fun for for people my age who used to see the old cartoon, and I guess older and younger. But, I mean, as a serious thing, yeah, it can't last. It can't last, but I'm glad it's not woke. I'll give it that. It's not woke. Um, it's better than, I guess they did a She-Ra cartoon. I guess that character's not She-Ra. What the hell was her name? Wasn't that Men-at-Arms' daughter, I guess? That was her. She had a name too. But like, there wasn't enough of He-Man, the cartoon. There wasn't enough to it. There wasn't enough of Eternia. Like, it wasn't even as, at least if it was sort of like Camelot, right? And it had some kind of long story arc to it, but they didn't even have that. There was almost nothing to this. It was like the same cartoon. I couldn't tell you. I've seen just about every He-Man cartoon. I couldn't tell you one plot. I can't even tell you the plot other than it was He-Man and Skeletor would fight. That's about it. I mean, that's all it was. And they did the live action version. I want to say in the 80s, right? Wasn't that in the 80s? When Dolph Lundgren was He-Man and he came to Earth and, did stuff. So from a screenwriting perspective, what is this going to be? It's going to be Act 1, reintroducing all the characters. Hopefully, the characters don't even matter, really. What you really need to introduce, not even reintroduce, is how Eternia works. Like, what is Eternia? What is Castle Grayskull? Like, how it all works. Why the power is important. Right? And why him and Skeletor fight. Like, that whole history, I don't think it was ever mapped out. Like, it would be great to have a history like Skeletor was the advisor to a king, Prince Adam's dad, let's say, and then he betrayed him, and that's how he becomes Skeletor. He becomes evil because he believed, he needed to be the true wearer of the crown. Something like that, but that doesn't exist. In the lore, it was never that complicated. It was always just bad guys and good guys fighting, and here's the message for the week. So, if you saw He-Man, you're going to watch this just to check it out. But it starts part one, July 23rd. I assume they're going to try to cliffhanger you into the rest of it. Maybe you could make it work. Wasn't Kevin Smith working on this, I think, at one point? I mean, it could work. But I don't see anything in the trailer that's going to make it work. I mean, it's just a bunch of fighting. Again, Dragon Ball Z. So it's just going to be a bunch of fighting. Yeah, I'll watch the first episode just to go, oh, okay, there's He-Man. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's the cat. Oh, yeah. And then that's it. Like, what am I going to watch the rest for? To get to the big conclusion? Oh, I wonder what happens. All right. That's it for me. Little Joan is eating her bone. We'll see you tomorrow.